I forgot to hit record. Now it's recording. So what I'll do is I'll go, don't worry, don't worry. So this part, I'll do it in the next assignment. I was so excited, I forgot to hit record. Don't worry, people. It'll be in it, okay? And like literally, if you, like you're trying to do it while watching me and maybe looking, but if you look at my instructions, it's literally step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. You'll be fine. Sometimes working on it while I'm working on it almost makes it harder because you're trying to listen and do blah, blah, blah. You'll have it. I started recording. My mess up. Oh, I missed the first hour. Jesus. I'll redo some of the stuff. So, all right. There we have it, though. The 3 artboards. We're set to go. Now I'll get creative and fun. You have 3 words to choose from. Or not choose from. You're going to be using half, stolen, and shrink with a sans serif bold typeface. All right. So I'm going to create a layer, a new layer, and call it, I'm going to move it down here. It's type. T-Y-P-E. Now we're all, oh, and then I locked, the crop marks were locked. I can't touch the crop marks. All I have is the type layer. That's the only one that's active, and it's the only one I can work on. So I'm going to take the word half. So the T is how you create a word, the T. And I'm going to click on the T, and I'm going to type in half. You can do it all uppercase, all lowercase, upper and lowercase, however you want. So let's see. I'll do all uppercase. And this is an easy one, but I want you to be creative. And I'm only going to do one example simply because I don't want to take your ideas. And so I'm just going to do half. I'll show you how to do like type out stolen and shrink. But so I have the word half. Now I'd like a bolder font. And so I'm going to pick something. You can try these little filters. So I'm up at the top. And this is the text. Or you can go down here. There's 2 areas. So if I have my type selected, so I just click the type tool. And I will in the future tell you not to use Myriad Pro all the time because it's just a default font. But I'm going to go, I have Arial Bold. And I have half. So I'm looking at this. And I'm going to think, how can I make this word describe half? Now, under the notes section, I have type out the word. So I typed out the word, right? Now I'm going to do 2 fancy things. I'm going to go to type, create outlines. Boom. What that did is that took the editable type. I can no longer use that type tool and type onto this. These now have been turned into shapes. So this word is like pure shape. And now the next part I'm going to do is go to Object and Ungroup. Now, each of these letters can independently move on its own. All right? So I'm going to undo that. And you can, with the Select tool, select 2, select 3, select 4, and start to have some fun. Now, one thing, this is the do not ever do. And I'm just going to, you don't have to, I'm going to copy and paste that. I do not want squished letters, squashed letters. I always want you to hold down Shift. You can change the size by holding Shift, but I don't want you to start doing this. That's just a bad habit that we shouldn't get into, and it makes the assignment a little bit harder. You know what I'm saying? All right, so today might be like a 2-hour lesson. That's fine. They'll get quicker in the future. So I have half. So just offhand, I didn't think about this. You know, I wrote the assignment, but I didn't think about it. Here's my quick version for half. I'm going to grab these 2 letters. So I just click and drag over them, and move them up to here. I'm going to grab these two letters and move them down to here. And I'm going to kind of like make sure that they're centered, and do they look centered there? Or like, are they centered in the middle? And then I can be like, there. I cut the word in half. It describes what the word is. Does that make sense to everybody? And there's like a ton of ways to do this. So this is where I want you to get creative. So the other word will do the exact same thing. I'm going to use the type tool. I'm going to click, and I'm going to write, this will be all lowercase, stolen. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to hold down shift while I drag it bigger to constrain it, kind of get it centered. Go to type, create outlines, go to object, ungroup, and then, I mean, here's the easy one. I don't even want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And then the last word is shrink. So don't do what I did for the solution. I want you guys to look at the words and figure out a way to do it. Now you can play around. So you can change the letters, like, you know, like you can change the sizes, the orientation, anything except for no squishing, no squashing, no, you know, distorting. But any way you want to think about this, think of a creative solution to define that word. Does that make sense to everybody? All right, I'm taking that as a yes. That's the first assignment. Like I said, I spent a ton of time going over this. I'm going to do it again with the next assignment here, and we'll keep rolling. All right, 2 other lectures. I know I'm getting long, but we got a lot of stuff. And don't worry, it's a lot of repeat. Every week we're going to repeat. The next assignment is the typographical challenges. Is you're going to use paragraphs, and there's 2 things I want you to stop doing in your life from here on out. Is hyphens. You should start removing hyphens. Sometimes the computer adds them automatically, but I want you to be conscious that I'm going to say, if you have hyphens in your work, like, let's remove the hyphens, and that means you have to hit a return. And then the other one is an orphan or a widow. And then that means like when there's one word at the bottom of the page or at the bottom of the paragraph, just all by itself. They're just alone. It's a poor little widow. They're sometimes known as orphans or widows, but when you see it, I'll tell you not to do it. If I see it, there should always be 2 or more words. It's a typographical thing. You'll learn about it, but we'll get through it. All right, typographical challenges. This is the assignment. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go a little bit quicker through the setup of the document, creating the layers. We're going to create more layers. Then I have some information that you're going to copy and paste, and then you're going to work from there. Don't worry, things will get quicker, and then our design mission, I'll go through that. Maybe this first class will be a little bit long, but you'll get through it. All right. It's all that intro stuff I got to do. All right. I'm going to go to File. Or you can go Home if you want. New File. Just like we did the last time. Print. But there's different parameters. All right. So I'm going to make sure I'm on inches. I'm going to go to 5. I'm going to go 6. The bleed, just like usual, 0.25. And I'm just going to click over, automatically populates. Scroll down to more settings. I want 3 artboards in a horizontal row with a 1-inch space. Create document. There they are. Margin, we're going to do that same thing. How many inches for print? Look, well, it says in the assignment. 5 by 6. Again, it might be a little difficult. I'm going to start moving faster, so I would recommend like kind of watch me and don't try to do it with me as I start to get faster. Like all the instructions are there written out. So margin, again, we're going to do a margin at 4.5 by 5.5 tall. So I create a layer, call it margin. The layer is already there. I'm going to click on the rectangle. I'm going to draw it just loosey, doesn't have to be perfect. Because here in transform, I'm going to go 4.5 tab. And you hit the tab or you can click down. Oh, I gotta make sure this is unlocked. If this is the way, if this has the 2 links, whatever I change here will automatically change it there. So I don't want that. So I have to make sure those aren't linked. That's called linking. This little thing right there. Make sure that that X is there. And then the other one is 5.5. Now with my box selected, and you can do this in a ton of different orders. I'm going to make sure it's centered. So again, down to align, center align, middle align. Then the fill with nothing, the stroke to magenta. I'm going to make sure that's selected. I'm going to copy. I'm going to edit and paste on all artboards. I'm going to pull a ruler from the top to the middle. And then I'm going to do one across here. So what I'm doing again is I'm selecting that box so I can see the middle. And I'm going to drag a marker across, select that, drag a margin across, select that, drag a margin across. Then I'm going to go from here, I'm going to lock that, go to the hamburger menu, click on template. Then while I'm here, I'm going to hit plus, and you can move this down, double click on it, crop marks. As I said, like as I'm doing it, you're going to be doing this a couple times a week. It's going to become just perfect for you. I'm going to make sure, so I made that box the size of the document, double check, no fill, no stroke. It's just automatically happening. It's wonderful. I'm going to copy that and then paste on all artboards. Just double check that they're there, there, and there. I'm going to click on that one, go to FX, click crop marks. Go to this one, click FX, go to crop marks, click on this one, go to FX, click on crop marks. Done. See, it's going to get quick. Don't you worry. And then that's all locked up. I'm going to create a layer called type. I'm going to create another layer called image. And I'm going to create another layer. Oh, no, not another layer. I take that back. Just those two, type and image. And then we're going to make sure that the margin layer is at the top of the list. It is. Crop marks is below it, and then image and type. Now, on the assignment, there is information. We have the title, a paragraph, an author, and then you're going to find an image online of the book. So you can just copy and paste. I'm going to copy and paste. And this is type. And I'm going to click the type tool. Oops, I know what I did there. Click the type tool and paste. All right, great. And then what I'm going to do next is so there's 2 forms of text. Where's the notes? There's point text and area text. The paragraph will be in area text. The title and author will be in point text. It's one differentiation between the two, but you can easily change them back and forth. So I'm going to get his name, Herman Melville, copy, and then click this again, just tap. If you're sloppy like that, it doesn't turn out right. I'm just going to tap, and when you see lorem ipsum, you can just paste. And now for the paragraph, I'm going to click and drag, and it's going to fill in with that lorem ipsum. And all I'm going to do is go to the blackboard, and I'm going to copy this, select all, and paste that in. Now, as you can see, there's a little plus here, right? That little plus means there's more information that's hidden. There it is. So now you have, delete that. You have a point text. What is it? Area text. Area text and point text. And now we need to add one image. And then once you do this, you're gonna design this 3 different times to start playing around with like how you do typography, more typography on the page. And they're simple. They're gonna be simple for you. Don't worry. Now, what you need to do now is go on the internet, and I'm gonna type Moby Dick book covers. I'm going to click on images, and I'm going to pick one that looks good to me. I like this one. Now it comes up here. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to do save image as, and I'm going to save it to my desktop, and I'm going to call it Moby Dick. All right, and I'm going to hit save. Now I'm going to go to image. I'm going to make sure my image layer, you can even lock the type layer. And I'm going to go to file, place, and I'm going to find on my desktop Moby Dick, place. And I'm going to click on it. Now this needs to be smaller, right? It's way too big. You make this smaller just like you do anything else. I'm holding down shift. Images are the same as text, in which you will never make the image smaller by doing that and distort it. You always go from a corner and hold down shift. Now for this part, I want 3 variations of the same design. So you can do stuff like, start simple. All right, I'm going to put the book in the corner. I'm going to maybe, I'm going to switch all my text to Arial just because I have it. And I'm going to do like Arial black, and I want the title to be big. What if I just put it here? And then Herman Melville will be, do I have an italic? Italic, and I'll put his name, here. And then I have this paragraph. Where should the paragraph go? Well, one, I want to change it to Arial, regular. I'm double checking. I have a little plus here that popped up, which means there's more. But what I can do is like, what if I make it skinnier, pull this down? That's a widow. So I have a widow appearing already. So I'm just going to make sure I push that in a little bit more. And what if I then go back to my image and I move my image here? Push this in. Got to get rid of that. That could be a setup. I've got a title, I've got a paragraph, I've got the name and the image. And then for the next one, you're just going to do it again, but in a different way. And I can copy and paste all this over. I just selected it all, held down Shift and Alt, and moved it over. Now for this one, what if I do the paragraph, and this is where you can have fun. Like, I'll do Moby Dick. What if this is where you get crazy. What if I rotate this? And that's why the corner, see how the corner, if I go by a corner, it gets that little thing. And I can do like something like this. Now make that big. The other thing is, as you see, I'm never going outside of that margin. Nothing should ever go outside of your margin. Moby Dick. And I'm gonna make his name the exact size of the word Dick. And then this can then like become this whole thing here. And then I can make the type bigger by clicking that. If I see a plus, it's too much. You know, well, how's that looking? I can bring it down. And there's another design. So 3 different designs just using the title, paragraph, name, and book cover. And this is, again, just the start going, you know, try them out. And as we go further and further along in this, you're going to get more and more creative. Like you're going to be like, oh, I've done that before. I want something new. And that's going to push you to do different things. So that is that. Now, again, remember, if you have questions, you just reach out to me. And then, you know, I'll be live in class on Thursday. We'll go quicker and quicker and quicker. So that's what we want to do for this project. And for the final project, you're going to download an assignment. Let's find out where this is. I want this with this. Well, not for the final. I'll talk about the book project. Don't worry, I'm not going over the book project. So for the attendance assignment, the design mission, you're going to download this file. So you can click on it. Oh, we want it downloadable. Should just be able to hit download. And it's going to download into your downloads folder. Whether you have a Mac or a PC, it all goes to the downloads. And it's going to be a zipped file. And what you do is you right click on it and you're going to extract all. If you have a Mac, it's just double click. If you have a PC, it's extract all. And then you're going to click on that and it's going to take boop, 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 boop. All right. So now I'm going to click on this and it's going to go in. And I have 2 items. Stereo Hi-Fi is a font. There is a TrueType font. You should be able to double click on it and then click install. I already have it installed, blah, blah. No, you know, I don't need to reinstall it. It's the same with both. You just double click it, install it. And then you're going to double click on this Adobe Sessions and you're going to find this file. You are going to recreate this image using only shapes. And I'm going to go into this and I'm going to show you actually how easy it is and not to worry. You have all your layers already built. You have notes on the side of anything you might need to use and how to use it. And it's got like the little helpers along the way. And I'm going to take you through this process and actually show you like how like this may seem like a complicated piece. It's not as complicated as you would think. And what I've done is, oh, hold on, I got to open up. They're in the assignment. I clicked on the assignment. Here. Download the starter file from and see how that's a link. I just hovered over it and clicked on it. Does that help? I take that as a yes. Now, of course, you're not going to do the watermark part. That's so no cheating. But I've included, this is what it should look like. You have all the colors. You have everything here to look at it and see it. And then there's an outline version that may help you a little bit. This was all created using just shape. That's to show you how great things are, like how you can do this. So what I'm going to do is we'll get started. And I'm going to look at here, and I've got a layer, and what's it called? Stripes. I've got 4 stripes down here, so let's make the stripes. I'm going to zoom in, use my hand tool to move over, and I'm going to show you a great way to make stripes. I'm going to use the rectangle tool, and I'm just going to draw from here to here for now, all right? Just getting it started. Then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to hold down Shift and Alt, and I'm going to pull down until it locks. You'll know when it locks. And it locked in there. And then I'm going to duplicate, which you can do edit. Where's a duplicate object? I don't even know what duplicate is. Control D. And I'm going to hit Control D and Control D. I have 4 boxes. Now what I'm going to do is switch to the eyedropper for a second. And I have all my colors up here, right? So I'm going to click on the first one. Should be not the lightest color. And I'm going to click on this eyedropper. And what this does is automatically changes the color to the color needed. So it's the darker one. Now I'm going to go to the second one. Eyedropper, change that color. Third one, eyedropper, green. Final one, eyedropper, and I think it's the magenta, or not magenta, the dark red. All right, now I'm going to grab all 4 of those and watch this move. I'm just going to pull them across. You can keep pulling to this mark, and it'll automatically ride through. And I'm going to pull past the bleed. There we go. You made 4 matching lines, all the same size, all touching, all the correct color. And it just takes a minute. All the stuff is there for you. It's just rectangles. You'll be amazed at the stuff we're going to make with just rectangles. Here's the next part. I'll do the equalizer because everybody's going to be like, oh my God, look at all those things. I got to make all those? Pish posh. This is going to take a minute. This is the beauty of Illustrator. I'm going to zoom in. And I'm now on equalizer, right? Because my stripes are done, locked up, equal. Now I'm going to go to the same thing. I'm going to go to rectangle. And I'm going to create 1 rectangle. Approximately the right size. You know? There's good. Now, I'm going to hold Shift and Alt and move up. There I am. I made a second one. Now I'm going to do that Control D thing again. But what I'm going to look at, here's the funky part. Up here, I want to go this high. So I'm just going to make a bunch of these this high. So I'm going to go duplicate, 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 duplicate. All I'm hitting is Control D, and it's making a new one. The exact same distance from the last one, over and over till I get to that top one. So now I have all these bars just over here. Now let's change the colors real quick because we're here. I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm going to grab, click and drag, and grab the first set. I'm going to go to the eyedropper and click green. I'm going to go to the second set, grab those. Oh, I have to go 1 higher. Grab those and click on that color. The final ones are the correct color. Now I have 1 set, right? Now watch this. I'm going to grab all of those. I'm going to hold down Shift and Alt, move it over. So I made a duplicate. I'm going to let go. Oh, I screwed up on that. Let go wasn't very smooth. I do that sometimes. So I have that without touching anything. I'm going to hit duplicate, 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 duplicate. So now you can see I'm a little bit off, right? That's all right. I'm going to use my right arrow key and nudge these over and get them lined up. I'm going to grab the second set, click and drag, nudge them over. I'm using the arrow key on my keyboard. I'm not trying to move it, because when you use the arrow keys, every keyboard has them, it just does it exactly as you need. And I'm gonna move those over. Gonna move these over. Oh. And there we have it. And then I just delete the ones I don't need, right? Let's see, turn this on. If I turn this on, I can see the black lines. So I'm gonna delete this set. So I'm just gonna click and drag and hit delete or backspace. Click and drag, delete and backspace. And if you go too many, you just undo. Undo is Control Z. And there I have it. Like making that equalizer, which probably seems daunting and so many squares and so many things. It's one rectangle, just repeated a ton of times. And everything, if you use Shift and Control D and duplicate, it all works out. But say, I'll teach you another hint here. If you group all these, so if I have, these are all good, but if I group them, Control G, grab those, Control G, grab those, Control G. I'll show you where I'm going here. Grab those, Control G. Grouping, I'm grouping, Control G. It makes these, now these all act as one. And if I grab all these and I go to align, but I hit these three buttons and I say distribute horizontally, I click on that. And now mathematically, all of these are spaced exactly equal using the distribute spacing tool. And there we are. Let's make a speaker. Speaker is literally made out of circles and squares. Much easier than you think. And the fun part is, again, it's duplicating. So I'm going to click on speaker. And I'm going to go over here to rectangle, to the ellipse tool. You can start wherever you want. I would work with this biggest guy, and I'm going to make a circle. So if I hold down Shift, I can make a circle, and I can move it, approximate. If I go kind of in the center, and I hold Shift and Alt, I can make a circle from the inside out. So using those command keys, you can create circles in different ways. But always, if you don't hold Shift, you can create ovals. If I hold Shift, I create perfect circles. Now, I got that circle. I can actually put that circle over here. Now I need a larger circle and a larger circle. So I'm just going to make those. I'm going to hold down Shift, get it approximate, move it here, and it needs to be a little bit smaller. I can make it smaller. All right, that looks good. And then I need one last larger one. And right now, it doesn't matter the color. We're going to change the color next. Good. So now I need to change the colors. And then we're going to work with arrangements. I have three, different circles. I'm going to select all of them. And I'm going to go to the color we want it. Now you may be saying, but there's other colors here. There sort of are, there sort of aren't. I'm going to select this middle one. And when I go to fill, and I go to this middle item here, I can change the tint of it and go to 50%. And that's how I made that color. Under the palette, I made spot colors for you. So all this is designed with only those set colors and then tints of them. Now, as you can see, we're out of order. I'm going to move, we need to move things up. So within the layer, it's also like pieces of glass. So I can send things forward, back, and front. I'll turn this off so you can just see that. This is in the top, this is middle, this is bottom. I want this in the back. So I'm gonna click on that, and you can go down here if you want, and it's arrange, and I want to send it to the back. This one, arrange, bring the front. Now I can use those alignment tools. What I want to do is I want 2 more of these circles. So I'm going to do copy paste and then paste again, or copy paste again. Oh, where's it put it? Oh, it didn't do it. It just put it right on top. All right. So what I'm going to right now, well, I need these in the middle. So we'll be doing one more arrangement, but don't worry, it's all good. Now these aren't lined up at all. Well, let's use the align tool. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to click this, the center one, and click the center one. Boom. Look at that. I didn't do anything. You know, like I didn't have to figure anything out. It just you know, the computer does it for you, perfectly centered. I wasn't like, oh, I got to get it perfect. Now the fun part is these, which is like those kind of those reflections, and that's going to be from these. So you can take a circle and kind of pie piece it. So let's turn this back on so we can see that. I have a real light one and a mid, this would be probably 75 and 25 in tint. So let's do this there. I'm going to type in 75. I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to go to this tint, and I'm going to go to 25. And we can place all these together. So I want to make sure that these go in the middle, but this goes on top. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring this to front, arrange, bring the front. Now I'm going to take all of these, and I'm going to do that thing again. I'm going to center, center. Now for this pie piece, see this? I'm working on that pie piece there. All you have to do, right here, I don't know if I zoom in if it makes it any clearer. There's a little thing to the side, and when I nudge that, see what happens. If I pull down, see what happens? And I'm going to go across. And then I'm going to take this one again, and I'm going to go up. Isn't that crazy? And then I'm going to do it. Then I'm going to select off it, and I'm going to select on the other one. I selected off, meaning I just clicked over here. Now I clicked on this one, and I'm going to do the same pie piece. Isn't that amazing? I love this. And then I'm going to go here. And I'm going to, like, you know, match it. I want it close. It doesn't have to be like the dead-on exact match. It just gets to be close. Now you're like, oh, man, now I got to do this 4 more times. No, you don't. I got the one made. It's just copy and paste and resize it. So if you want, you group it, you're happy. I'm going to hit group, object, group. So now like when I click on it, it all goes, you know, and if you want to make adjustments, you just ungroup it. Now I'm just going to hit copy paste and make a small one. There you go. And I'm going to hit copy paste and make a smaller one to match the size. Nudge it down, copy paste, and do this. And then I want this to intersect. So you got that pink line? Boom. Look at that. 4 speakers done with making 1 speaker. Amazing. Oh, now I got to make a speaker box. You know what the speaker box is made of? 3 boxes. This is where it's so amazing. Like, we really think about how things are made. Rectangle tool, right? This is a rectangle. Well, let's make a rectangle. Bloop. This is actually the correct color. So I made the rectangle that size, right? That was the size. Now I'm going to go to Object, Arrange, Send to Back. There it is. Now I need the darker brown rectangle. All right. Brooke. Make it the size of the darker brown one. I'll get to this edge piece here. Now let's make it the correct color. Right? Done. Now what do we do with it? So just to let you guys know, one thing weird. I work old school. I don't always go to this arrange. You should learn to go to this closer one than the one up here. Old dog, new tricks. It used to only be up here. So when you see me go to different places, that's also the show that it goes to different places. Now we need to make it, we got to make it look 3D. I'm going to copy and paste this box. Copy, paste. I'm going to push it until it joins. See? Those magenta lines pop up. And then I'm going to let go. And if it's a little bit off, it's okay. We're learning. But we can get it exact. Use those arrow keys. Now you're like, how do I get that to that shape? 2 tools. One, you're going to reduce it this size, right? Just regular. Then the magic direct select tool. I'm going to kind of click off of it, and then it's 2 different tools. Select selects the entire object, and you can do kind of like big manual things. But when I go to this other arrow, direct select, then I can do stuff like grab a corner and start manipulating. So all I'm going to do is grab that corner, hold down shift, and I'm going to pull down until I see that pop. And then I'm going to grab the lower corner. I clicked off of it, and I'm going to grab on that, hold shift, and move up until I get that one. And there I have made a speaker only out of shapes. Now, oh, Joel, I got to do that again? And it's reversed? Heck no. I'm going to now grab that entire speaker. Like click and drag with the big select tool. So you're going to learn to be going back and forth on these 2 tools a lot. But I'm going to grab everything. I'm going to group it. I'm going to shift alt it over. But it's the wrong way. No. Underneath, well, probably underneath your rotate, you'll want to find a tool called mirror. It's this, all right? It's usually hidden underneath the rotate. It's in the tool. It's the 2 arrows pointing at each other. I'm going to double click on it. Did you see that? If I hit horizontal, vertical, it does it for you. I'm going to hit OK. And look, speaker built. 2 speakers built, all with circles and rectangles. You can do it. It's so great. Let's make a star. Because here's the funny part about the stars. You only got to make 1 star and then just change the size of it. How's the star made? Let's look. 2 shapes. I'm going to zoom in on this one. But how did you do that? Well, there's a weird star tool here. So if you hold down rectangle, and you go to star tool, you'll find it. Now, I'm going to hold down shift, and I'll make a star. But I only want 4 sides, not 5. Check this out right here. I'm going to click on that. Oh, do I want more or do I want less? That's so rad. Like you can like, I want a 16-point star. There you go. I only want a 5-point star. But Joel, it doesn't look like yours. All right, let's make it look like mine. So I got the width right. All right. Now you can grab inside and change that. There's a little dot right there. And all I'm doing is moving it in and moving it out. All right. And then you can do the same with this too. I don't know why you really need to do that. Well, but then you can do that, which we'll do in a minute. Gotta make sure I'm on the right one. See how it made that circle? So inside, see the circle, and then when you click on that one, outside, and there's a circle. And then when I click on the bigger idea of it, I can stretch it up. Because I have a bit of a stretch to it, right? So it's a little bit of playing around, but find that inside outside. Well, we're not doing that. That's a third one you can do. Like you can start doing that to them. It's pretty great. Like I love this kind of stuff. That's that. This is that. Arcs. You can curve those, but keep them tight. All right. So there's one. That's the inside. So we'll make a smaller one, and we're just going to rotate it. So I'm going to go to the star tool. I'm going to make one. I'm hold down shift. I'm going to go to 4. This one I can make skinnier. Bring it here. And then I'm going to go to that corner, and I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to rotate it. And I held down shift. So shift constrains it to 45 degrees. I'm holding shift. If I don't hold shift, you can go like whatever, but hold shift. And then we're going to make it smaller. I'm holding shift again. Get that with this. And I can go in and edit this still. Like, okay, got that. I want to do the other edit. Well, we're good here. So then I'm going to grab those two and see how those aren't in the same spot. I'm going to go to align and align. Now they're perfectly centered. So now I created one. Let me zoom back out. I'm going to group that. I have dark star, and I have one called light stars. It's the exact same star. So you can copy and paste down lower, but all you need to do is then look. I have that star. It's selected. I'm going to use the eyedropper tool, make it that color, and then just place them where I need them. Like, oops. Make sure I'm grouped. And then there's one here. You know, copy, paste. I think I took that one. And you're just going to copy and paste and put the stars where they need them. Copy and paste. And they're all, find them. You know, it's like a little search. Find all the big ones. And then for the light star, you can just, I turned off, I went from stars dark to stars light, clicked on it, and I'm just going to paste in. Here's one. It's smaller in a different color. I don't have to redo anything. I'm going to make it smaller to match this one. And then I'm going to click on this color to match it. I'm going to zoom in. I think I have to tint it because it's the background color. I'm going to click on that fill there and go to 50. Let's do 75. And then there's your stars. You make small ones, big ones, and you just fill in all the stars. And that's just copy and pasting. Whenever you resize it, you always hold down shift. Now you make all the stars. Type, typography. Stereo, lo-fi. I'm going to click on the type tool. I'm going to click that, and I'm just going to type up. Stereo, low-fi. How did I get that effect, eh? It's just 3 different layers. So I'm going to type this up in here because you installed the font. Oh, sorry, it's not up there. I can search for it. There it is. I'm going to make it the correct size. You know, pretty good, pretty close. Now I'm going to copy and paste this 2 times. Copy, paste, copy, paste. I don't know where I put the other. One of them is the dark brown. One of them is the background color. And one of them is the kind of darker color. And then it's just that which one goes where. So you can do it up here if it's confusing. So dark one, object, arrange, bring the front. This one goes to back, object, arrange, send to back, and then we just kind of align them. This part gets a little tricky in that sometimes you have to, what we call lock items, because you can't select them. Like text makes this giant box, and then you're like, I just want to get to that one, and sometimes it won't let you like click on the one you want. And this is where coming with the arrow keys helps. And I'm just going to offset those. All right. And then I'm going to set that there. And that's how you do it. Simple shapes, simple stuff. I know you can do it. You ask me questions. All these assignments are due in a week, Tuesday. So you have a week to work on them. Don't wait till the last minute. And then Thursday, you get another round of assignments. So we're always going to be overlapping, but every assignment you get like 7 full days. Final assignment is the book project. There was a little bit of a mix-up. If you have the 24 edition, do it, and then there's some modifiers I want you to do. And if you have the 25 edition, there's some modifiers. This is literally just follow the book. Open the book and follow what the book says. And I want to see that. And they have all the instructions written out in the book, like step by step by step. And you're just going to learn some other cool things from the book, but it's nothing that I need to go over. Like it's all in the book. And if you have questions, just let me know. So that will cover that. Again, all these assignments are due next week, Tuesday at the end of the day. And then on Thursday, we'll meet again, and there'll be some new ones. After this, I will re-record an intro, I think, because I didn't record the first part. Yeah, it's either edition is fine. If you got one over the other, I'll let it go through. This is for me the last year I'm going to use the book anyway. But yeah, if you get a cheap 2024 version, get it. Or if you get the 25, it's fine. But yeah, I'd do 2024. Don't get the 25 unless you already did. It's all good though. It's all good. Just do the, and I'll have those modifiers in each one for you. Again, the more important assignments are these: the lettering expression, typographic challenges, and design mission. This is not my high on my list. So like, I know everybody's like, gotta get the book. Yeah, you need to get the book, but you got plenty to work on before you get the book. Like you can knock out these assignments without the book. You don't need the book. And then you do the book. But yeah, there we go. That's it. Is there any other questions, comments, or concerns at this time? All right. Well, you know how to get a hold of me. I know it's a lot, but we're going to get through it. And once you start rolling with it, it's easier than you think. There's a couple weird, the layers, but every project we're doing layers and you're seeing layers and you're working with them. And just shoot me a question anytime. Get me those questions. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. I check as much as I can and I'll answer you as fast as I can. So cool. Well, thank you very much. I'll do a second recording for the beginning. I'll get this recordings uploaded within an hour or so. I have another class at 1, so it might be after that. But yeah, we'll get through it together. All right, take care, and I'll talk to you. Hopefully, I'll see some of you on Thursday. Yes. All right, take care. Enjoy the bitter cold. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.